All right, everyone, welcome back to another edition of Show and Tell What the Hell. And we're wrapping up 2018, and today we are going to break the tradition of just using action figures and talking about those because I wanted to bring out other stuff as well. And I came across something very, I don't know, very special the other day at a store that it was a collector's store in Corpus Christi, Texas. And I saw this and I said, well, it's a tiny bit pricey, but it was totally worth it just to get it. And I'm going to show it to you right now. This is from the year 1992, and this really, really takes me back because this actually helped further my obsession with comic books and Marvel and things like that. But this is the Marvel Universe Skybox trading card set, or a pack of cards here. And this is Series 3. Now, I don't think I went past Series 3. I think I just got a few other special edition cards, and they started putting out, I think, other different, was it Topps or some other company started putting out other types of cards. What, the Hildebrandt brothers had their own cards too. Jim Lee X-Men cards were out. Those were awesome. So this is the year 1992. I was very excited for these because I just finished collecting Series 2. And so what I wanted to do today is just talk about my experiences with this, and we're also going to find out what's inside there. We're going to go over the cards and find out. This is a surprise. I have not opened this. The price tag for this is $3.99. And yeah, let's wake up some old memories, shall we? So I'm really not too I'm not going to care too much about how I open this. I'm not going to be too careful because, well, oops, I just really demolished that there. This is for the sake of this video because I do have a bunch of these already. And you know what? I'm not certain if I ever even finished Series 3. I think there's like a few cards. Maybe I'll get some cards in here that will complete my collection. I don't know. I've lost a lot of them. I still got a notebook with a lot of Series 2 and Series 1. But I remember my dad bought me these when I was a young child. And I got very excited because, of course, it wasn't my first exposure to the Marvel Universe. But because I'd been reading comics before, but this was the first time I was really getting into it, really getting in depth with the characters, and this was, of course, this was before everyone had the internet. This is before we even knew what an interwebs was. So this was my little guide. This gave me stats. This gave me all sorts of information. Now, I already see some that I have there. Let's look at the inside of this, shall we? This goes and explains. Here, I'll just cut this. I cut this like a jerk. I opened it like a jerk, rather. But this goes and shows a little bit about what they mean by fighting ability, energy, projection, strength, speed. So this comes straight from Marvel. This is from the source. This explains. This gives you every bit of detail, everything that you want to know about a particular character, and more. So let's take a look. Are they all okay? So I think one of them was faced this way, and look at this. Look what we got here. We got the Fantastic Four, and look at that right there. Yeah, and I do remember having this. This was part of the team subgroup. So they all had different teams that you could put in there. And of course, this goes into some details. It gives you their first appearance, when they first came out, 1961. You know, that picture of Reed Richards with a little, with a pipe there. The 1950s dad. Hey, folks. So this gives you information. I'm not going to read them all out to you. You could actually pause this and look at them. And yeah, there you go. There's the first one here. What do we got here? This one is the Milestone Collection. And this one explains what the Dark Phoenix saga is. And shows a year. You're in Uncanny X-Men 129 to 137, January to September 1980. Now, I would remember getting these and putting in these plastic sleeves, and before, I had friends that would like to double them up, put one in the front, one in the back, and conserve the space. But man, when you had enough money back then, when you got enough for your allowance, when I did enough, cut enough grass yards at cut the grass at yards or whatever I could do to make money, I would buy these plastic sleeves and buy these cards by the one time I bought a box. I'd still like to do that one of these days, is just get a whole box and talk about this. But very interesting. And we have not yet gotten to a this is number 195. We have not yet gotten to a character card that shows actual stats, but we'll show you that in a minute, because I know there's some in there. Now look at this one right here. Yeah, this is Origins. This looks to be, this could be talking about the Dan Ketch Ghost Rider. And yeah, this is from the 1990. Ghost Rider had kind of a resurgence in the year 1990. He had a bit of a comeback, and you had a new character, a new Ghost Rider by the name of Danny Ketch. And this was the all-new, all-awesome Ghost Rider. Got a new bike, different guy, and all black leather. Yeah, he was pretty cool. Those were pretty interesting stories. I remember I had a collection of Ghost Rider and Wolverine comics. And you would, the comic would be the Ghost Rider, half the comic would be Ghost Rider. You would go like, you would actually flip it upside down, and that would be the Wolverine comic there. And those were real trippy. Who was it? Sam Keith? Was it Sam Keith that did the art for that? Who later on did the Max for Image Comics. Let's see, what do we got here? Another Origins. And this one is talking about Spider-Man. I'm trying to see if I could recognize any of the artists here. Some of these names are just so lost to me these days. But looks a lot like the old Spider-Man art. And the Ditko looks a lot like the Steve Ditko. This looks to be a little bit like the Eric Larson Spider-Man there, but this shows you the original Amazing Fantasy number 15, 1962. And you could read here, while all the cool kids in the Midtown High were hanging out and spinning records, shy bookworm Peter Parker was attending a scientific exhibit. Yeah, we all know the story. We've seen it a million times. Pretty cool. This one's card number 162. I remember having these. Now, okay, now here is a character that doesn't really get too much attention these days. People may be unfamiliar with the Puppet Master. Very creepy character here. And this is a under the super villains section. And now, here's what's interesting about it. And that's why I love these cards here. It gives you an idea of their power ratings. You know, so of course it gives you all his first appearance. It gives him this is little quotes right here. Let's see. Sorry, my sight is going. Obey me, my puppets, for my will is your will. You shall never escape your new master. And of course, he's talking to his family members. I don't know. So yeah, it gives you a little bit of a bio here. And it shows that he's a 1 at speed, a 1 at strength. His intelligence is at a 5. Pretty smart guy. He has no energy projection. He's got mental powers, I guess. And fighting ability is at a 2. Not the biggest threat, but still a very creepy, weird character. Now, 5 is pretty high, compared to other people. That's above average with as far as intelligence goes. But yeah, very nice little art here. I believe this might be the Puppet Master's first Marvel card too. Oh, here's a good one. The White Queen, Emma Frost. And let's take a look. And her intelligence is at a level 4, strength at 2. Energy projection at 1. Mental powers at 6. Yeah, fighting ability and speed are at 2. Number 123. Interesting art here. Yeah. Okay, oh, here's an interesting one. Here's a team-up card. Daredevil and the Black Widow. Now, we're in the year 2018. We've just finished the season 3 of Daredevil. And it's a shame that we may not get to see a team-up like this in the MCU. Because I do like the portrayal of the Daredevil character in the show. Oops, my drawer is falling down here. But the first encounter, it shows you here, 1971 was the first time they met. Yeah, that was even before my time there. Here's another good team-up card. There you go. And yeah, this is a Sal Buscema. Recognize the signature and the art style here. Spider-Man and the Human Torch. And Sal Buscema's style was very, very, I don't know, very, very ever so present and often duplicated. But yeah, this is actually one of my favorite team-ups. Human Torch and Spider-Man. It always seems like these guys were just like good old buddies there. They kind of had very similar personalities. Two teenage dudes, two bros hanging out. Sometimes, you know, messing with each other. Not in that way. But, you know, just giving each other a lot of crap. And at the same time, they were best of buds, too. And I remember when Human Torch actually, when Spider-Man had to... Human Torch had given Spider-Man a Fantastic Four outfit and with a paper bag head. Yeah, pretty cool. I wish that they had a Marvel Legends toy for that one. Here's a nice one there. Cable, the most boring Marvel character. No, let's get Cable's stats here. Just, you know, this is official Marvel stuff. Let's see. Now he's got a strength 3 out of 7. Mm-hmm. He's a fairly smart guy. He's about as smart as the White Queen. He's at a level 4. Energy, but I realize how incredibly nerdy this is, but that's fine. Let's continue. Energy projection 1. Well, you know, unless you consider giant, massive guns that no human alive can carry, but he's a mutant, so he can do that. Mental powers at a 2. I don't know. I think they kind of developed later on. Again, this is 1990. Fighting ability is at a level 7. Wow. So, Cable can kick some ass, right? But his speed is at 2. These are very odd stats. Very odd. So, you can outrun the guy, but if you are very tired, you better watch out because Cable's coming after you. And he's going to beat your butt. And it says here, this is interesting here. Although the origin of the man called Cable is shrouded in mystery, this is 1992, his impact on the criminals of the world has been anything but mysterious. It's been devastating. Very true. His real name is unrevealed. X-Force and his first appearance is, of course, New Mutants 87. That's about the time I checked out of New Mutants, but was getting back into other Marvel comics. Here's an interesting Charlie 27. For those of y'all who don't know, Charlie 27 is one of the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Ving Rhames portrayed him in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and as a brief cameo. He's got a strength of 4, intelligence of 2, energy projection of 1, mental powers at 1, fighting ability at 4, but his speed's at 2, so he's kind of well-rounded. And it gives you more an idea of his background here, of course. First appearance was Marvel Superheroes Volume 1, number 18, 1969. And yeah, that's Guardians of the Galaxy are pretty old, the original ones. Let's see. Well, speaking of Guardians here, putting out Major Victory, another character I would have loved to have seen him. He's a very interesting character. Vance Astro also known as Advanced Astro, has looked very different over the course of the years, over the decades. It looks very different. But let's look at his stats here. Strength 2, intelligence 2, energy projection 1, mental powers, fighting ability, and speed. Okay, so now mental powers 4, fighting ability 4, speed 2. Not the most powerful guy, but the guy had Captain America's shield with him. Now people are like, well, why does he have Captain America's shield? Now, the original Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is 2018, the movie, Spider-Verse just came out. But the idea of different universes was already occurring way back when. And they had established that the Guardians were, those Guardians, the original Guardians, were from a different universe here. And check out this guy. Let's just read a little bit about him. Because I do know about him, but it always helps to get a refresher. For 1,000 years, Vance Astro remained trapped in the containment suit that protected his body from succumbing to the crush of old age. Now, freed from prison and armed with a legendary shield of Captain America, he leads Earth's 31st century heroes, the Guardians of the Galaxy, as Major Victory, carrying Captain America's grand legacy into the far future. So yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy were, in fact, from the future, from a different dimension, and where I believe there's like a whole planet that where they had somehow obtained Tony Stark's technology. So I read a little bit of Guardians of the Galaxy, and they kind of also had a resurgence in the 90s too. So it got pretty interesting. And then the Guardians that most people know started happening, I want to say mid-2000s during the Annihilation Conquest. But again, those were all recycled characters as well. Rocket Raccoon, Star-Lord are all old characters from the 70s and 80s. Drax, and what have you. And save this one best for last. I actually saw this one, but I wanted to get into this one. This is one of my favorite characters, and some really, really nice artwork here of She-Hulk. And why they have not made a She-Hulk movie is beyond me. The Betsy as a Jennifer Walters, of course, which is I was going to say Betsy Banner, but Bruce Banner's cousin, I believe. Now, check out her strength. She's got a level 6 strength. Yeah. Yeah, she's one tough chick, huh? Intelligent 3. She's also an attorney, from what I remember. So she's not like the Hulk we know. Energy projection 1, has no energy projection, has no mental powers. Fighting ability 3, and speed 2. I would have thought her speed would been a little higher there, maybe a 4 at least. Just due to the gamma radiation and all. Let's read her quote here. I'm 6'7" and bright green. People are going to stare at me no matter how I dress. Yeah, Jennifer Walters. So very cool. Really happy to have gotten these. I do have all these cards, but it's okay. I really like having repeats. And I hope to find some more. Maybe one of these days I'll get a whole box and spend an hour opening some of these and just showing off some of the cards that I have, not reading the bios necessarily, just going over some of the ones that are more interesting. I don't know what the market value for these cards are nowadays, but to me, these are just little priceless gems just because they're so awesome, and I would just spend hours and hours and hours. I remember going out on road trips from one city to another. And there was a town, Corpus Christi, and Laredo, Texas. So we'd always stop by a store called Maverick Market, which was like I don't know what sort of gas stations people have around the world, but Maverick Market was a gas station and convenience store, which had the best stuff. They had your comic books, they had your collectible baseball cards, and when these started coming out, I think 89 maybe, or 90, I would always ask to stop there so I could at least pick up a pack or two. And yeah, I was addicted to these cards. DC had a line of cards as well. I didn't get too much into those, but Marvel Series 1, Series 2 is by far my favorite one because that's the one that I really got into. Series 1, I wasn't able to complete it because Series 2 was already coming out. But oh man, by the time Series 2 was hitting the shelves, I just went bananas for them. But yeah, I appreciate you guys checking this out. If you could, if you find these on eBay or find these wherever, I'd highly recommend them. They're really good to add to your collection. You can go to places like Target or Walmart and get yourself those little binders. These still now right now they're just even so. What am I trying to say here? Well, Marvel's very popular right now, so these are fantastic little companion pieces if you're really wanting to know more about the Marvel Universe without having to rely on the internet or Wikipedia and get it straight from the source. You know, these are the most accurate and most factual Marvel sources right now, I think, or still. But you know, unless you include those big Marvel books with encyclopedias and omnibus collections. Anyway, so thanks for watching, folks. I enjoyed going through these cards with y'all, and maybe I'll try to do this again. If you want to see me find anything or review anything like this, if you like that, just go and let me know. Leave some comments, and we'll see you all next time.